Today we're talking about the biggest challenges that nurses have when they start a concierge nurse business. I am Catie Harris, founder of NursePreneurs, and I'm here today with Kimble Walters, who is a concierge nurse. She owns the Elite Concierge Nurses. And our question for you today, Kimble, is just what are the biggest challenges of starting up a concierge nurse business? Here you have a great idea, you want to jump in and get started, but what are kind of like the biggest obstacles and challenges that you run into?
Hi, Catie. Thank you for having me. That is a really great question. um, it's a huge question, but it's a great question. I'm sure lots of people have the same question. So I've found in my business that there can be some real challenges. I guess the number one thing I would say is building the relationships with people that's going to refer clients to you, getting clients. Um, that's probably most important because if you don't have clients, you don't really have a business. Right?
That's true.
So that's probably the most important thing. So I think having a rapport with the physicians that you want to, refer to you, and or depending on the kind of nurse concierge business you have, just building the relationships with other businesses that may complement your business, collaborating on things to make for better patient care on your end. You have another business that may offer something that maybe you don't offer, but your patient needs, or you can kind of subcontract them. So building relationships is a really big thing. You want the referrals, you want the other businesses so that your service can just shine and glow and grow. Okay, so that's a big deal. In addition to that, the kind of the business part of it, just knowing what to do, like building your website. I don't know how many people that just know how to log on and build a website. That it sounds really easy, but when it comes down to doing it, really it's very difficult. And you may have an idea of what you want and you may not. So you have to get with someone that actually can put your thoughts and ideas into a website that expresses those things that you want. And that's kind of tricky sometimes to find. I was very, very fortunate to have someone build mine, and it's beautiful. And it's everything I wanted and more. I think she knew what I wanted more than I did, but it's fantastic. But that is difficult, sometimes to find. Just making sure that your brand is on target, what you need, the colors are right, they complement each other, they're attracting the patients that you want, the clients that you want. Those things can be a little difficult to decide if you've never had a business before. So in addition to that, hiring other nurses. It is difficult if you're anything like I am. I'm a bit of a I like to have the control. So I like to say, I know it's done right if I do it. But really, in a business like this, you can't do everything. You can't take care of all the clients yourself. If you're a prosperous business and you're growing, you really have to be able to trust the nurses that you have working for you. And that's sometimes pretty hard. That, you have to make sure that you vet them properly and that you do the background checks on them and that you know who you're dealing with so that they can provide the proper care to your clients as you would. So those are some real challenges that I've run into. Um,
Those are huge.
yes.
So yeah, the business relationships, and did it take you much longer than you were anticipating to build up those relationships?
Yes. Well, I went in thinking I had a physician on board and he was great and he was, going to send me tons of patients and I may not even need more physicians, just him, just his office. And the truth about that is that, yes, he was supportive and he did want to use me and he did send me some clients, but it wasn't the river of clients that I expected. It takes really persistence on your part of going to the offices and visiting them and communicating with them regularly because they're used to doing things a certain way without you. And so because of the habits that they have, they can sometimes just keep on, not saying they don't want to use you, but it's just that's their routine. When they start to see you more, and you develop this really great relationship with them, then they think of you when someone says, "Oh, I wish I had a nurse." Oh, we know someone. But if you don't show your face and if you don't communicate and build those relationships, then they'll just keep on with their regular routine. And they'll say when they see you, "Oh, I had a client for you. I totally forgot."
It sounds like that may have happened to you once.
Just once or twice. But I made sure that didn't happen too much because I got out there, I visited, I took cupcakes and, buntlets and all kinds of little things to their office. And, we would chat and I didn't want a thing. I just showed up some days, and so it became where I was a part of them. And they remember me now when they have clients.
Yeah, I think that's important too, because I've had a lot of conversations with nurses who want to be concierge nurses, and they'll say something like, "Oh, I took my business cards over and dropped them off at the office." And I'm like, yeah, it needs a little more than that.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And they'll take them and they'll be happy to have them. Then they'll sit them on their desk. And when they're in with their patients, they'll forget all about those business cards sitting on their desk. So you really just have to make your presence known. And even when you don't have anything to say, you can just shoot them a text or an email and say, "Hey, I'm here if you need me. I really want to see what we can do, to get more clients. What kind of strategies can we come up with?" Just make them a part of it. If you pull them in, lots of times they really appreciate that because they want to use you. They like your service. They feel like it's exactly what their patients need. They just are in a routine and they forget. So making that relationship and keeping your face right there is really important. It's really
Yeah, and you can see that on the flip side too. Like, let's say a vendor came up to the nursing station, dropped off business cards and left. It would just kind of be like, who was that person?
right.
And,
Exactly.
yeah, but it's a lot, and you can take some lessons from some of the better sales reps and medical reps that come around, that come in and they bring in the pizza for the nurses and talk to you, and they're not trying to sell you, they're trying to engage you just to have a
Right.
relationship and build trust. And those are the kind of the keys that you have to focus on and take away.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Building that relationship is really number one. Once you do that, then they're like your partner. They will just, they want to see you grow. They'll be your cheerleader. Fantastic. But it takes, going through the motion of getting that relationship built. So.
Yeah, and the other two things you said, the websites, that I've spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on websites, and they are not easy.
They're not easy. I tried once. And I consider myself to be fairly smart, and tech savvy, but no, I'm not a website builder, is what I've learned.
It just
And
doesn't look like what they, show you.
no,
They're like, "Oh, you can have this," and then you get like that. And you're like,
right. There's nothing like it. So I totally agree. Those can be really challenges for you, and even when you hire a business to do it for you, you really have to work closely with them to make sure that they're giving you what you really want, not just giving you the, whatever product they want to spit out at you. Make sure that it's something that's going to engage clients, that's going to, complement what your vision is for your business to make sure that when the clients look at your website, they're like, "Oh yes, I want this. I want this person,"
and that's
not just
so
some generic
powerful.
something.
It's so powerful. And I've done a lot of website reviews for nurses, and some of them have been concierge nurse services, and I've gotten to their website and I'm like, I don't understand what you're selling. Like, this is one of the problems that you're having. You have to have a website that, hooks people as soon as they
Absolutely.
land there, because otherwise they're like, oh, how did I get here? And they forget what they're doing, and they're
Yeah,
off. They're off to the races again.
that's right. That's right. That's very important.
And then hiring, when you got into concierge nursing, you probably didn't realize that a big portion of your job is relationships with these nurses that are going to be going out and representing you and your business. And that's a huge responsibility.
It really is. And they do represent you. And that's the scary part. So you absolutely have to make sure that you have someone that you know is not going to misrepresent you. They're not going to do or be, say things that you would never do or say. You want to just make sure, do your due diligence by going and doing the checks and spend some time with that nurse before you actually hire them to kind of get the feel of who they are and make sure that that's what you want for your business, because that can really really give you a bad reputation if you're
Yeah,
not careful. Yeah.
absolutely. All right, Kimble. Well, thank you so much for this.
Well, you're welcome. Thank you.
When you're ready to start or scale a concierge nurse business, NursePreneurs is the world's largest and most experienced group of concierge nurses. We can set up and launch your concierge nurse business in 90 days. In addition to all the concierge nurses in our own group, you also get your own personal one-on-one concierge nurse mentor who guides you through all the obstacles and challenges that are inherent in this type of business model. If you want to get started without the headache and the overwhelm of trying to figure out all the pieces on your own, you want to be supported throughout the entire process and start generating income in the next 90 days, then go to catieharris.com/application, complete the application, and schedule your interview today.